With dusk painting the Peoria sky, the sunset arrives for 4 high school basketball teams in Class 2A. We have a champion to crown tonight, but first, our third place matchup between the Mater Dei Knights and the Rockridge Rockets coming up here on Comcast Sportsnet. As we welcome you inside to the March Madness experience, they've wound things down for the day with the focus of the fun and madness of March, heading right into Carver Arena for our Class 2A final tonight. Matt Rodewald with you. So glad to see you for this broadcast. We've had a busy day of basketball, and let's take a look at the whole schedule. Class 1A, a champion crowned earlier today, with Primfield winning that championship over Meridian, surviving the Bobcats' late run. Ridgeview winning their final basketball game of the season, knocking out Forston 53-35. Our third place game coming up next between Rockridge and Mater Dei, and our state 2A championship between St. Teresa of Decatur and Uplift, the pride of the North Side, coming out of the uptown neighborhood of Chicago. It should be a fun night of basketball. Let's head inside and check in with the guys who will be on the call for this one as we say hello to Dave Bernhard and Mark Lindo. Gentlemen.
Well, thank you very much, Matt. And any third place game, Mark, you have disappointment, residual disappointment from 24 hours earlier. You're not going to play in a state championship game. But for these two teams, Mater Dei and Rockridge, I think there's disappointment that they did not have their A games last night.
I think they'll both play well tonight. It's all about competition and winning, whether it's in their driveway when they're little shakers, whether it's on the playground, whether it's in practice. The Christmas tournament, tonight's on a bigger stage. Both these teams playing to compete and to win tonight, putting their best foot forward.
For Rockridge, one of the players that early in the year, Coach Toby Whiteman said, "We need you to shoot." It's Luke Johnson.
Luke Johnson was 4 out of 6 from the arc last night. He can score it. He can handle it. He can board it. He's a consummate player, and he is their emotional and team leader. Besides that, it's his 18th birthday today.
And on the other side, he's the tallest player in the tournament, 6'9", Nolan Gurley.
Hey, 13 points and a whopping 14 rebounds last night. He's a force, 6'9", 240 at the low block, a force inside. The Knights want to establish very early on in this basketball game tonight.
Both teams back on the floor getting set for this third place game. But first, let's head across the hallway. March Madness experience and Matt Rodewald.
All right, Dave. All right, Mark. And a championship game to follow, but our third place game with the Rockridge Rockets looking to put a capper for this senior class on a fabulous 2-year stretch. And for the Mater Dei Knights, trying to match the 1974 team and the 1996 team and stamp their legacy here in Peoria. Got a third place game to play for you. Coming up next, it is Mater Dei and Rockridge, and that's next here on Comcast Sportsnet.
A restaurant with a view, a game day bus, a kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local Country Financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected.
Grow your own way.
Country Financial, grow your own way.
To a cake portrait chef, accuracy is everything. That's why I used Realtor.com to find this house. I'd rather take a cake to the face than to use those other search apps. Off the market, it's on the market! Realtor.com is the most accurate home search tool. Its homes are sweet.
Team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour Highlights of the Week on the NFHS Network.
Welcome back to Peoria's Carver Arena on the shores of the Illinois River, and it is third place action in Class 2A, the Mater Dei Knights and the Rockridge Rockets. Hi again, everybody. Glad to have you with us tonight. Two big ball games tonight. Of course, state championship game to follow this one, St. Teresa and Uplift. But in this ball game, 10th ranked Mater Dei Knights. We've got a kind of meeting in the middle here. Mater Dei coming from the St. Louis area, Clinton County, independent in terms of conference affiliation. We'll hear from their head coach, Ron Shadig, and enrollment just under 500. Then we head back up to the northwest part of the state. Rockridge Rockets, 30-2 on the season. Rock Island County in the Three Rivers Conference. Toby Whiteman has his son playing for him, just a sophomore. This is a Rockridge team that last year thought they would get here, knocked off in the Super Sectionals, denying them an undefeated season and a trip to Peoria. But they meet here today in Central Illinois, and they will go to work, and they'll look to decide the third place trophy. Let's welcome in the fourth member of our announcing team, and that is Kelly Kroll.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Well, an incredible and memorable moment to start off this third place game between Rockridge and Mater Dei. Rockridge head coach Toby Whiteman is going to start two of his seniors that can't continue playing. They found out just a couple weeks ago, center Jake Foy has cancer and doesn't even have the strength to play in this game. And then later on, Nolan Stevens, also a forward for them, senior season. He tore his MCL around Christmas time, and at tip, right after, they will call timeout. Rockridge head coach went over to Mater Dei head coach and said, here's what I'm gonna do. And right away, Ron Shadig said, if we get the tip, coach, we will call timeout. In a very unique show of sportsmanship, and certainly he said this is all about the kids. Those two boys deserve this moment in their senior season to have closure to their entire high school career. So guys, pretty memorable stuff going on here, and certainly I'm sure a game neither one will forget.
Kelly, thank you very much. And let's meet those starting lineups with Paul Herzog.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. This is the 108th year in the state series of this competition, and tonight's third place game for 2A features the Taylor Ridge Rockridge Rockets, a record of 30-2, and the Breese Mater Dei Knights, a record of 24-11. Let's meet the starting lineups. For Rockridge, at a guard, a 6'2 senior, 20, Luke Johnson. For Mater Dei, at a guard, a 5'11 senior, 3, Sam Tunyas. Another guard for the Rockets, a 6'4 senior, 24, Brian Heath. At a guard for the Knights, a 6'7 senior, 22, Zachary Hockey. At center for Rockridge, a 6'3 senior, 34, Jake Foy. Another guard for Mater Dei, a 6'4 senior, 25, Zach Deiters. At a forward for the Rockets, a 6'3 senior, 15, Nolan Stevens. At center for the Knights, a 6'9 senior, 50, Nolan Gerling. The other forward for Rockridge, a 6'5 junior, 33, TJ Martins. And the forward for Mater Dei, a 6'4 senior, 32, Ben Lampy. Head coach for Rockridge in his 9th season, a record of 142 and 100, Toby Whiteman. Head coach for Mater Dei at 14 years with a record of 256 and 145.
So both teams' starting lineups introduced. Our ball is being presented tonight by Brandon Burwell. As every game here in Peoria, we have a honored guest presenting the ball to our officials as the teams meet at half court. Mark, you talk about a couple of players, Brian Heath for Rockridge, Ben Lampy for Mater Dei. They had good numbers last night, but it wasn't the type of numbers that they've become accustomed to and maybe what they needed last night. We'll first take a look at our officials, Tyler Vogt, Patrick Lauer, and Timothy Snowden. But Heath and Lampy, they'll look to redeem themselves tonight.
Well, they were our featured players last night, and they did not come up like shining stars. They have a little chance for redemption tonight. Heath, we know, is a first-team All-Stater. He was just 6 out of 18. He wants some redemption. And Lampy, as you know, just couldn't get it going last night till late in the game. Just 4 out of 12. Both of those guys have been catalysts for their team all year long and have a chance to, you know, pick their team up tonight for a third-place trophy.
Take a look at how these teams got to this point. Your 6:30 game on a Saturday night. First of all, for Rockridge Rockets, motored through the tournament, had to go to overtime to beat St. Edward, and then lost last night to St. Teresa 50-39. Only shot 19% in the first half. And for Mater Dei, losing to Uplift last night, a deceiving score was a little bit closer than that, 72-50 in that one. Uplift being out-rebounded by Mater Dei, 42-33. So our tip coming up, Jake Foy, Nolan Stevens, Brian Heath going up, and it's controlled by Stevens, and he will take that timeout. How cool. And the crowd comes to its feet here at Carver Arena. What a great moment. We'll have more on Jake Foy later in our broadcast, but it sends chills up your spine, Mark. I truly am choked.
Yeah, all I want to say was wow, but it wouldn't come out. What I was watching there is Toby Whiteman and Rod Shadig with a thumbs up to each other. What an awesome display of sportsmanship. It's all about the kids. It was personified right there.
Very quickly, Brian Heath gets the Rockets on the board.
Yeah, we talked about him being all-stater, chance for redemption. He takes the ball on the baseline and just about with no resistance, scores it on the weak side, using the rim as a protector.
Getting a start tonight for Mater Dei, Zach Diders. He normally comes off the bench.
Look at a backdoor cut, overplay. Anytime your man overplays, you want to take him further direction he's playing you. If he plays you high, you jab him high, you go backdoor. He did that very well, fundamentally coached right there by Heath for the backside layup or the backdoor layup.
Rim at that end of the floor here. Carver Arena has not been kind to Ben Lampy. There is Ron Shadig. He is in his second season back at Mater Dei, a former player for the Knights. 43 wins, 31 losses with Mater Dei. Gentry Whiteman to bring it up. Whiteman, the sophomore son of head coach Toby Whiteman. Two-year member of the varsity.
A lot of ball screens on the perimeter.
With Johnson with the miss, the rebound will come to hockey. Here come the Knights, want to push a little bit. Foul will be called on Luke Johnson.
Keys to game, be big. They have to use that big front line. 6'9", 6'7", 6'5". They have to go ahead and get that, and then get defensive. They want to protect their lane, protect their paint, and own that zone, which is so important, the war zone inside.
Early with the miss, rebound for T.J. Martins. Ooh, great pass from Whiteman. McManus waits and scores.
McManus just a bull right there. He didn't establish himself early last night, but caught that one in traffic, spun to the baseline side, and was able to finish with great body control and upper body strength.
Sam Tunius running the point for the Knights. Diders, three-point threat last night. Diders had a three, took several shots. Here comes Whiteman the other way, and he buries him.
And we see both teams coming out free and easy right now in good offensive rhythm, kind of feeling it, and the competitive juices we mentioned on the open flowing very early right now.
Lampy so strong inside.
Look at this fast break, eyes up. You want to see the entire floor. What a great point guard is able to do that. And then after he gets a nice pass off the bounce, he eyes it and just squares his shoulders up off the bounce. Two solid fundamental plays by the respective point guards, Tanyas and Whiteman.
Ben Lampy at the line last night finished with 11 points. 8 rebounds, only 4 of 12 from the floor and 3 of 8 from the line. He has both Mater Dei's points here tonight. Carson Frakes has entered the game wearing number 3 right there. The inside spot in the lane. He will get that rebound.
Free throws. Last night, Rockridge only got to the free throw line 5 times. Usually an important part of any basketball game is rebounding and free throws. They have to get there tonight, and then help from Heath. We talked about that in the open. He has to be good. He averages 24 a game. He's got to get 20 plus tonight.
Diners will knock it down. His 71st three-pointer of the year.
And that's key. He was only 1 out of 7 from the arc last night. But again, with a purpose, he eyed that one, got himself squared up in the basket, used his legs, and finished it.
Brian Heath, as you said, feeling very much into the flow. Nice and easy. He had a tough night last night.
Well, there's no doubt. We mentioned 6 out of 18. He carried his team in the super sectional. He carried his team all season. A first-team all-stater he is, and he's coming out with a different purpose and with a great deal of passion and poise tonight.
Has it rejected. Here's Heath on Lampy, on Gerling, and Lampy will get the block. Whiteman. They'll stay at this end of the floor.
Well, Whiteman's certainly playing freezing easy. He had a couple nice dimes. He's distributed. He hit the jump shot that we showed you. That time he was feeling it. Had a pretty good look. Was not able to finish. This ball's going to go back to Heath in a hurry. They tried to get it to him.
Hockey passes up 3 to Deiters. Finally to Gerling. Great ball moment results in the first basket of the game for Nolan Gerling. 13 points, 14 rebounds, second team all-stater. 4.5 to play here in the first quarter. Third place game. It's a 2-point lead for the Rockets from Rockridge.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
For your auto, home, life, business, and retirement needs, call the Country Financial representative near you at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit us at countryfinancial.com. Let's check in with Kelly Kroll.
Well, a very heartwarming moment to start off this game. Jake Foy, Nolan Stevens, both seniors getting to make their last start. Jake Foy, it was head coach Toby Whiteman telling us just a couple weeks ago in practice, they could tell his energy level wasn't the same. It had really dropped. He was actually getting sick and had seen a number of doctors, and they were saying they just thought it was a cold, but come to find out, He has, in fact, cancer. He's been going up to the Mayo clinics and driving all the way back here to Peoria just to be here for these games going back and forth. And then with Nolan Stevens, a torn MCL around Christmas time. And Coach said this is a guy who also missed the end of his football season, guys, because he tore his hamstring. He felt like no kid deserved to be on the floor more than him, and as well as his teammate Jake Foy.
Even number 34, Foy, is in the ballgame right now and will be part of this zone.
Yeah, kind of caught us by surprise. We thought it was going to be just the opening tip and that was it, but he's going to get a chance to get up and down the floor a couple times in the state tournament.
See if they get him a touch here. He'll set the screen up top. They're looking for him.
Matter D in a 2-3 zone right now. So they're going to swing the ball side, top side. They're going to look low and then to the high post. Okay, look at how long Matter Day is in that zone.
Well,
6'9", 6'7", 6'6", right?
And that's what Rockridge saw last night with St. Teresa long in a 2-3 zone.
But a great picture. Every time the ball's passed, people jumping the basketball, man-to-man principles in the zone.
That's where TJ Martins likes it. Knocks it down.
Hit 2 of those right from that same spot last night, finding the soft spot in a 2-3 zone, the high post.
Foy with the rebound. You know, back to that opening tip. When you saw the entire crowd come to its feet, we had a shot of the modern day students who are a long way from the floor, but they knew what was going on. Very, very touching. And, you know, the other part, Nolan Stevens, with that knee injury you're talking about, he was told by his coach, I'm going to start you tonight. And Stevens got the big round eyes, said, Coach, I can't even walk. He says, we've got it covered.
We got it covered. Nice push the elbow floor by Tanyas there. If he gets the ball deep. Acceleration, the open floor. Great guards can make great coaches. Guards are so important. Yes, the big men get the accolades because they do, you know, the dirty work around the tin, but guards are the ones that run a team.
The coaches going to their benches early here in the third place game. Gerling, tough to stop in there. Oh my. That concession stand was open early tonight.
I'll tell you what, he had a big dinner, no doubt about that. Lunch, breakfast, and everything else. That looks like a Dave Bernhardt kind of cheer right there.
That would be the extent of it.
You're much more svelte than that, though.
Well, one could only hope. Lampy will get it right back.
Now that's Lampy, the game that he's used to playing. He looked high-low at Gerling, but then once it was tipped back out off the rim, he got his own carom and put his head down and just drove to the basket. The ball came from the top side, no weak side help because there wasn't a weak side. You keep the ball in the middle, you have a really good chance to break down a defense.
Lampy shooting his 5th and 6th free throws tonight. He had 8 last night, leads his team in free throw attempts, came into the tournament with 170 attempts from the line.
He struggled scoring last night, he struggled from the line, but it looks like a very confident, you know, his facial expression, his body language, much more assertive tonight.
Long one. Oh my. They better check that net. That thing ripped. Ryan Heath knocks it down.
Royce, he off to a nice start, 7 up on a big board already, and in rhythm, scoring on a baseline back cut, scoring from the outside. He's a diversified scorer. When you're a scorer, you're not just a shooter, but you can score inside, outside, open floor.
The average is 24.2 points per game. We'll get the touch right here, back to Whiteman. Around we go.
High post, short corner. Good chance as we watch Heath coming to picture. High post, inside out, great form. And once the ball goes to the middle, you distort a defense. What I mean by that is when the ball goes inside, the defense collapses. When the defense collapses, a well-coached team, a well-coached player will find the open man inside out.
Jake Foy got his minutes on the floor. He came off. You saw the reaction of the Rockridge fans. As Kelly said, Mayo Clinic has become a stop in his commute back and forth to Peoria. Tied at 14, 90 seconds to play in the first.
Pullman came off the corner to overload the zone. They reversed it top to side into the corner. He got himself squared up. Good overload zone offense.
Ooh. Down hard. It's TJ Martins.
Good offense. It's about man movement and about ball movement. So there's the top side, and he had just come off the baseline run, which overloads the zone. When you play behind the defense, you're that much more of an effective player. Good offensive set by the Knights. So their delay game, they're going to go for one shot unless they get a backdoor cut like that.
Lampe blasts again. 8 first quarter points for Ben Lampe. Heath creates space.
He's going to Michigan Tech. We mentioned that. A very cerebral student. What, a 30-something ACT. Just a very, very fine young man. Personified student. There's that stack offense again. Now they are going for the last shot. They got last time Lampe on a drive, but they'll have a set play out of this box set setting up right now. They might go 1-4 low or high ball screen. Believe me, they practice this dozens and dozens of times.
Coleman gets it to Deiters. 3 ball. There's time from half court. Heath. Well played first quarter. 30 points on the board. Modern Day 16-14 lead. Big first quarter. Ben Lampe, 2 of his 8 right there.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle. But excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
We have completed our first quarter of play, and usually we wait till the fourth quarter until we get to the National Association of Realtors move of the game. No need. Opening tip. Our NAR move of the game. Jake Foy, number 34. Foy, battling cancer, just discovered a couple of weeks ago, and he'll get a board as well. Congratulations, not only to Foy, to Stevens, but Taylor Ridge Rockridge head coach Toby Whiteman and Ron Shadig, who had Modern Day control that opening tip, they would have called the timeout.
Yeah, and both of those guys during that exchange gave each other the thumbs up. An incredible show of sportsmanship. That was all set up before the game, and it takes 2 class acts to pull off something like they just did. And what a great tribute to the 2 young men that had that opportunity.
Tells you an awful lot about high school sports.
That's what it's all about.
Well, unfortunately, we don't always hear those kind of stories.
Standing just a little bit now, Mater Dei trying to force the action. Now notice the pick and pop right there.
Martins can't get that three to go. Gerling with the rebound.
They get a good shot off it, but the defense has to adjust to ball screens. Are they going to go over the top, underneath? They're going to trap it. They have to be consistent, and they have to have defensive communication.
Lampy, the putback, double digits for Ben Lampy.
Hey, Lampy just right on time at the right time, at the right spot, just lays it in, weak side, nobody blocked him out.
Gentry Whiteman thought he had that last three, but here's Ben Lampy going to work.
Well, you know, great players have a nose for the basketball, and they know how to score the basketball. It's a game of angles. It's geometry. Where the shot come from, 45-degree angle, you hang out of the weak side, you get around the glass, good things going to happen to you. That's why Lampy was able to clean it up with nobody around him. He knew where the ball was coming from his teammate's shot.
4-point lead belongs to the Knights.
Got to set up high-low. Look at that battle inside.
And the Mater Dei fans don't like the way that the big man right there, Nolan Gerling, went down. Carson Frakes was tied up with him. Ball will go to the Rockets.
Frakes at 6'4". He was just a battling with 6'9" Gerling, and quite honestly, there was an awful lot of contact, no call, but it was well worth the entertainment value watching those two guys going after it.
A little misread right there.
It's going to be a back screen lob, but the screen just never developed properly for Heath to come out and get the would-be slam dunk.
Hockey looks inside, goes high to Lampy. Well, that's a different player tonight, Mark.
Well, and once again, they looked inside to Gerling, but you know what they found? They found Lampy on the weak side. Rotation wasn't there. He hung out almost like he did the last highlight we had of him, just knowing where his open spot was, the soft spot on the defense, and he has a scorer's mentality.
And a 9-0 run for Mater Dei. Maybe extended here as Lampy gets the rebound. 20-14 lead. Deiters post to Tunyas. Frakes saw that ball out of the corner of his eye. Luckily, it hit him right there in number 3.
See Frakes going to the corner right now, high-low. They're trying to form a triangle. The way to beat any defense, especially zone, is to form triangles. So once again, we saw Lampy on an offensive rebound earlier in the game, and now he's just hanging out on the weak side. Nice spin dribble. He shows some leather baseline side, is able to go 360, spin around, and finish with his left shoulder. A great player can show right, go left, go right. Lampy is a scorer. He did not shoot the ball well last night, but he's got that scorer's eyes tonight.
You're looking into the eyes of T.J. Martin, 6'5" junior. They move him around offensively. Gerling with another rebound, and for Gerling, that will be his third. That free throw by Martins temporarily stops the run. It was a 9-0 Mater Dei run. They're up by 5. Timeout here with about 5 minutes to play in the first half. Remember, coming up following this one, game 2, the state championship in 2A. It will be St. Teresa taking on Uplift. Mark, this 2A field is not often we can get teams that are ranked in the top 10, 4 teams that are ranked in the top 10, but that's what we're looking at.
Well, the pollsters got it right, and the team's got it right. You see Coach Ron Shattuck dialing up and drawing up some X's and O's, but you know, you don't get here unless you're a quality team. You don't get here unless you're a quality coach. There's a quality guy right there who found himself a few different coaching stops along the way, and he's back to his alma mater, Mater Dei High School.
Well, here's the path that Ron Shattuck took. He was an 84 graduate of Mater Dei, went to Southern Illinois Edwardsville for a year, then Panhandle State in Oklahoma, Division II school, and he stayed there after he graduated. He was an assistant for the women's team for 4 years. Then he headed to Junction City, Kansas for 5 years, moved to Florida, Port St. Lucie for 5 years, Orlando for 12 years, and now, ta-da, back to Breese and Mater Dei.
Did you Google map that?
I did look up some of these, yes.
Wow, well traveled. Hey, you got to love the coaching profession. Usually that's the life of a college coach, isn't it?
Yes.
Quite honestly.
Right now, Rockridge over their last 6 shots in the field. They've turned the ball over a couple of times. And Mater Dei has taken advantage for a 9-1 run and a 5-point lead.
Mater Dei doing a really good job closing out on shooters. Look at the switch right there on the ball screen. The switch was there. Just a sweet looking shot right there.
Luke Johnson gets that 3 after 4 of them last night.
He was 4 out of 6 last night. He came off that ball screen, picked, used it well, squared up, going to his left, which isn't easy to do. Luke Johnson can shoot the basketball.
Loose ball will come to Gerling.
Well, those guys really complimenting each other right now. You know, cleaning up each other's misses.
Isaiah Kistler in the game for Rockridge. Diders, good position on him for that rebound.
Great fundamental block out. Rebounding and free throws wins basketball. Get weak side again.
Heath in the open floor. On the pull-up. Brendan Timmerman to just walk it up.
One and done right now for the Rockets. And interesting, you mentioned that. I was going to say the same thing. Timmerman slows down the pace. They had an opportunity maybe with some numbers, but they don't want to get into that apparently right now. Mater Dei utilizing their inside strength and their offensive rebound prowess.
Timmerman with it. Feeds the beast, and he'll go to the line. Nolan Gerling. Mater Dei using a 9-1 run. They lead by 4. 2:45 to play in a second.
That all the world's a stage, and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who's in the gym every dang day. Patriots say I'm the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
Well, welcome back to Carver Arena. Boys 2A third-place game. Mater Dei leading Rockridge 22-18. And Mater Dei head coach Ron Shattuck is actually pulling double duty right now. As you can imagine, any of the coaches here at this point have been out scouting, getting their team ready for this point. He's actually not only been doing that, but also taking time to go check out the softball field and see the girls that are out there warming up. Their season will be starting in a week because he's going to take over that program as well for Mater Dei. First time doing that, and he says it's been a lot of fun. It's going to be a change of atmosphere, guys, obviously going from inside right here to possibly outside where the weather conditions are a little bit different right now. So certainly looking forward to that, but would like to close this one out here with a win.
Absolutely amazing he's doing that. I've had the opportunity to do that for 35 years, coaching basketball for 35 and baseball for 35. And when you know what? When you love athletics, when you love the game, it's an easy transition. But I'm going to tell you one thing, he'll be tired, no doubt about that, because I always am when I go from winter to spring. But, you know, what a great job just coaching young men and young women he has.
Heath. Oh, he banks it in. He went up over Diders.
Diders he closed on really well, and Diders gave him a look like, what? And Heath gave him a look like, smile. Now the Rockets in a 2-3 zone, changing up defenses.
That 3 ball cuts the Mater Dei lead to 1. 10 points for Brian Heath.
Got to reverse the basketball. There they go. Now it should break things down.
There it is, Tunyas. Nope. That's just ripped away from him by Kistler.
Great execution, just not the finish. below the defense.
Heath again. Ring it up.
From downtown, a smile on Heath's face. He's flat out feeling it right now. 13 points. And he did step it up, as we mentioned in the open that he would, and he just answered the bell. There's no doubt when you find the ball, you got to identify shooters. He's the best one on the floor. They found him. He only needs about a half a second to get rid of the basketball. What a quick release, and right now in great rhythm.
And they have found number 24, the Rockets. Ryan Heath, 5 of Rockridge's last 9 field goals. He's taken 12 of his team's 22 shots tonight.
24-point-a-game first team All-State, stepping it up right now. What a way to go out, and I'm happy for him right now because obviously he put the weight on his shoulders last night. Coach Shattuck right there eyeing things up, knowing his team protecting. They're trying to tie things up here.
Ball in the lead for Rockridge. Here's Heath again. Gerling, the block, he'll take it away, and Heath will pick up the foul.
Heath 3 out of 6 from three-point land, 50%. See, good defensive rotation. Frees him right there. The first guy leaves, but Gerling right there rotates over. So they beat the first man, leaves his feet, cardinal sin. But you trust a big guy behind you to come on in and make a play late. So the first line of defense beaten, but a great basketball team has a second line of defense, a third line of defense. Every time the ball moves, you move.
Heath just picked up his second foul. He joins Luke Johnson with 2 fouls. Heath stays on the floor, though.
Gerling comes into this tournament with 144 free throws attempted. Now he's only shooting about 47%. That's an Achilles heel, but you know he's going to get to the line quite a bit because his back to the basket abilities, that wide body, so hard to guard when he gets himself deep in the lane.
Johnson held on his way to the basket. It's only the 3rd team foul in Mater Dei here in the first half.
Johnson, probably not a great decision. He was 1 out of 3 on the push. He found a little bit of seam, ran into a little bit of traffic, but drew the foul.
Tough to dribble through a zone like that.
You know, what you want to do when you dribble into a zone is you want to dribble, draw 2 defenders to the basketball, and then kick. A great zone offense will make 2 players guard 1.
Heath, quick release. And a good hop.
Well, you mentioned it. We mentioned this last time. Boom, the ball's in his hands. Boom, the ball's gone. Quick release, great feet, great arm extension into his shot.
Heath with 4 threes, 16 points. 27-24 lead for the Rockets.
3 right shirts around Gerling, trying to get the basketball. Great team defense on the inside, protecting the paint, one of our defensive keys.
Martin's a 3. And now Tunyas to slow it down.
They set up a box play for Deiters on the outside. There's the down screen.
Lampy puts the ball on the floor. He'll head to the line.
You know, it's such a nice offense for Mater Dei because they're so diversified in their scoring. They got Deiters that can shoot the J. They got Gerling, the big guy inside. They got Lampy that can slash into the basket and hang on the weak side. So they have an awful lot of threats for a defense to scheme against. And every game plan has its own scheme. You know, are you taking away player 1? You're taking away player 2. And sometimes the coach has to, quote-unquote, pick their poison. And when you got, 3 guys like that, it's very, very hard to do. That's why both these teams are in the Final Four.
We spoke about Ryan Heath, academics. We're looking at a 4.0 student at the line, and Ben Lampy gets a couple right there, 14 points for Lampy. Whiteman corner. We get a foul call. We have a foul called on a three at the buzzer.
Never foul a jump shooter, never foul a three-point shooter, and it just happened with zeros up on the big board. Now they're saying they're going to discuss, had the horn gone off. That's what they're discussing, which would be a good way, honestly, to negate the call. But they're going to give the three.
It will be Isaiah Kistler shooting 3 free throws. That is really close. He gets one.
Now they're checking the shooter.
Oh, yeah, Heath is at the line right now.
We got that.
23, 24, what's the difference? There you see Brian Heath on the left side of your screen.
Yeah.
He's about as far away from that ball as anybody on this floor.
And you called it right, but then I saw him go to the line in real time. And it is not Mr. Heath that took that shot. He was on the far left side of the screen. You see the very far part of your screen, the 4, is going to walk in.
Give it 2 more to Heath.
And in high school basketball, you cannot come to our monitor and the Rocket players over to our left, smiling and huddling up. They got a little bit of chicanery and got the best free throw shooter they could get up on the line. How about that? You got an 83% foul shooter. They're trained all 3. Look at the smiles.
Well, about as unusual way to close out a first half as I've ever seen. You foul on a 3 at the buzzer, and the wrong guy goes to the line and knocks down 3. So officially, Brian Heath, halftime, 19 points, 12 of them coming in the second quarter. Mater Dei fans unhappy. Those 3 gentlemen leaving the floor. All right, Brian Heath. What a big first half for the 6'4" senior. Let's go to Kelly Crow.
Coach, first of all, did you get an explanation on kind of what went down right there?
I have no idea. I mean, I know that one of our guys got fouled last second, got fouled on 3-pointer. I turned around and started talking, and I have no idea what was going on.
Well, Brian Heath, you know what's going on with him. He's got the touch right now, feeling good. Who else, though, needs to step up, get involved with your offense so you guys can pull off this win?
I think all of our kids are, after last night and our shooting, I think all of our kids are feeling it. Some of them are in and out. I think Gentry hit one. TJs were close. We're looking to drive. We're looking to kick. I mean, this is exactly what I kind of wanted tonight after what we did last night.
All right, very happy, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Thanks a lot. Dave, there you go. Pretty happy with what he's seeing from his guys right now.
Very loose and easy. All staters, soft touches. You get a kind rim. That's exactly what Brian Heath has right there.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage, and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
Halftime of our Class 2A third place game. It is a 29-26 score at the break. Rockridge in front. Back here in the March Madness experience, everybody's headed inside for the Carver Arena State Championship game coming up in Class 2A, and of course we'll get that for you in just a couple of minutes. A controversial finish there that first half. Brian Heath with 19 points, 12 of those coming in the second quarter, and 2 of 3 free throws that weren't really his. We've all seen people try it, and we've never seen it work. And work on this kind of stage. Here's the play in question. Of course, you look at Heath first as we look at the highlights from him. He was hitting from long range in the first half, just 1 of 7 last night in the semifinal loss, and he's figured it out. On the other side, Lampley for Mater Dei, really effective as well. And you can see him working down low, spinning in the lane and going right to the rim. And some buckets from the outside, not so much because he's cleaning up the glass and working in the paint. And for Lampley, able to get some points for Mater Dei. Here's the controversial play right at the horn. First off, the foul happens after the light goes off. Watch the light here. And so the contact after that probably should not have been a foul, but at the free throw line was a different shooter. And so instead of number 23, it ended up being number 24. And so Brian Heath, as a result, had 2 of 3 free throws that didn't belong to him. And that's why Rockridge has a 3-point lead at the break. Look at the 3-point shooting for Rockridge. Obviously, they're going to shoot a lot from the outside. And so far, it's worked to their benefit at the moment. And the free throws, Mater Dei's been able to get to the line. Rainbow Shot is coming up next. A staple here in Peoria. We'll have that for you. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us here on Comcast Sportsnet.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
To a cake portrait chef, accuracy is everything. That's why I used Realtor.com to find this house. I'd rather take a cake to the face than to use those other search apps. Off the market, it's on the market. Oh. Realtor.com is the most accurate home search tool. Its homes are sweet.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
And welcome back to Carver Arena as we are in our third place game and the rainbow shot already underway. Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo are ducking for cover. Gentlemen, how's it going so far?
Well, you are right, Matt, because we had one clank off the rim and it came our way. This is one of the most, I think, fun events they have here. It's part of the March Madness experience, an extension of the Mark. And you can see where these people are shooting from. This started about the top of the key on the other end, and every time someone makes a shot, it keeps backing up, and the person who makes the longest shot, he wins. And I believe there is some sort of scholarship money attached to it.
Well, you know what, Dave? You've covered an awful lot of sports in your life, and I know you've covered slam dunks, and I know you've covered three-point shooting, but, you know, how do you describe play-by-play of, like, these 70-foot cranks? Well, but it's a lot of fun. How about the March Madness experience? How much fun is that, the activity?
Well, here Thursday, the Madness experience, that was open, and it was a very busy time for a lot of folks. We're getting some close ones here. And you got to remember now, your strength starts leaving you at this stage.
Now, did you try any shots Thursday night?
No, visualized.
But yeah, that's you're using a little bit of aerobic activity here, running quite a bit, a little bit of upper body strength. And you know, they say never leave a birdie putt short. Well, how about not leaving the 70-foot shot?
Well, I was going to ask you as a coach, do you practice these? If so, good for you. You may be in a rainbow shot next year.
Make one.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage, and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour Highlights of the Week on the NFHS Network.
And welcome back to halftime of our third place game in Class 2A. You see the rainbow shot wrapping up a fun tradition here in Peoria. And our score, well, we think it is 29-26. A little bit of controversy as we wrapped up the first half. We'll have more on that coming up as we start the third quarter. It is time for the National Association of Realtors trivia question. Of course, Realtor.com mobile app, and you can get the most accurate app for finding homes for sale and for rent. We'll have your question for you right here. Which member of the Chicago Bulls and former Simeon graduate dished out 279 assists, good for 11th all-time in the 2005-06 basketball season? I'm being told this is easy, and while you're thinking about that, remember that the Realtor.com mobile app is the most accurate app for finding homes for sale and for rent. Yes, Derrick Rose, 2006 and 2007 state champion, trying to make his way back from that knee injury once again. We'll take a timeout. Rockridge leading by how much? We're not sure. We'll find out when we come back.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
Back at Carver Arena in Peoria, let's go to Kelly Kroll.
Ron Shattuck, Coach, explain what was said to you by the referees on that last play of the half.
There was no replay, and we understand that at high school level, there's no replay. I mean, there was the wrong shooter. We got to move on and continue to play the second half of basketball. We're in good shape. We're down 3, so we're fine. We just got to make sure we know where 24 is at, contain him. He's got 18 of their 29, so if we can slow him down a little bit, we may have a chance. But we're going to go out this half, enjoy the rest of the half, and experience some good high school basketball.
All right, what is the game plan to slow 24 down? Do your guys inside have to do a better job? What have you told them?
We got to do a better job jamming him and getting up in his face. He's getting too much space. He releases it quick. He's doing a very good job, and he makes shots. So, we'll do what we can, and we'll see what happens at the end of 16 minutes.
All right, enjoy it, Coach. Good luck. Guys?
All right, well, I just got word from Matt Troha with the IHSA, Assistant Executive Director. What they're going to do is this is the Brian Heath, Isaiah Kistler, a correctable error. So what they're going to do is revert this score back to 27-26. They're going to put the correct shooter on the line. So Isaiah Kistler, he was fouled. He will shoot 3. So take the points away from Brian Heath. Take the points off of Rockridge scoreboard. And Kistler's going to go to a line. Let's take a look back. This happened. This is the halftime buzzer.
There's the jump shot, the pass from the corner. There's the foul. So the foul was called. Time on the clock. Good there as we have it frozen.
The problem is that the foul happened after the horn. That shouldn't have happened anyway.
Obviously, Heath was nowhere to be seen in that picture. And Kistler's the one going to the line. And to go by rule, fans, our audience needs to understand that, yes, indeed, the IHSA is not, making a new rule. There is a correctable rule in the rule book. It goes from the scorer's table to the officials, and the bottom line is to get it right, and they're doing just that. Good job by the officials, good job by the coaching staffs of each team, making sure that the right man is shooting the basketball.
Well, the late, great Gordy Gillespie, always said he would disagree with officials' calls. But in the end, his final question is, did you get it right? And there's 3 free throws. And we're back to even. So once again, the final play, number 24, Brian Heath. He's near half court. He's in the Bradley logo here at Carver Arena, while Kistler was fouled in that deep corner. So in the end, it all works out.
And they get their 3 points, but it worked out. And sorting things out and getting it right is the bottom line in this one. Now it's time to get back into some rhythm and get some hoops going again.
Good first half, 30-26 as we start the third quarter. Third place game, championship game to follow. St. Teresa and Uplift. Here's Heath. Zachary Hockey, 6'7". Big front line. 4 of the 5 starters for Mater Dei, 6'5" or taller.
Passing game right here. A lot of screening and cutting away from the basketball on that first set. And yes, Hockey 6'7", playing the point. Very diversified, and he's diversified the way he can pass the ball and he can pitch the ball too.
Yeah, he's headed to Arkansas State, where he will be pitching. Of course, following his spring baseball season and Mater Dei.
Rockridge only had 11 points at the half last night, and I guess it would go officially 30 a half, correct? Because those free throws would go in the first half. So they tripled last night's first half output on the heels of Heath. Good backdoor cut taken away. Lampy right now with the matchup against Heath. Look at that. There's two good players right there.
McManus pumps, scores.
And there's your prototype screen and roll. He screened McManus and then boom, just dove to the basket, found himself open. A little bit of rotation help, but he was able to pump and then go up, under, and finish.
It was Dakota McManus that took the starting spot of Nolan Stevens. After Stevens suffered those knee injuries, it was Stevens who got the start tonight, along with Jake Floyd.
Yep. What an awesome moment that will be remembered for a long time.
Tunyas, nice pass in deep.
You know, you talk about pick and pop basketball and screen and dive. Look at the screen, and he dove right to the basketball. Nice soft hands for the big fella. And then is able to finish nice and soft and lays it in off the 10. So good athleticism by the big linebacker.
Lampy spins.
Just like how active the go-to guys are for both teams tonight, with a purpose. We talked about competition. It's all about competition and playing your heart out.
Lampy, head down to the basket. That's what Ron Shadig wanted from him last night. Put your head down and go, and that's what he's done here this evening.
And Toby Whiteman talked about that after the game. He said, third place isn't the issue. Competing is the issue. Playing to win is the issue. And you know what? A lot of people talk, okay, third place game. These guys, I mean, yeah, they know it's third place, but they'd be playing just as hard if it was, you know, a June pickup game in summer or summer league game, fall in their backyard, and they're playing even harder because they're at a very, very special venue.
Rockridge the ball in the 5-point lead. 2 minutes into the second half. Here comes Tunyas. Hockey, long three, got it.
And once again, Tunyas with his head up the whole time, anticipating where Hockey would be on the wing, passing the ball on time, on target, dishing the dime.
Heath stops, pops, and scores.
What great balance. He just hit a dime, elevated. He was able to square and score.
18 points for Brian Heath.
It's a double team inside, triple team. So Tunyas is going to come into your screen in just a moment with his eyes up. Look at that, he saw him the whole time. And able to get his feet under him and score. And then Heath, watch him, just boom, elevate. And shoot the ball at the apex of his jump in a heartbeat.
We've mentioned Heath going to Michigan Tech. Outstanding student. He's picked Michigan Tech because of their engineering and their high placement rate.
I never had that opportunity to pick, you know, a Michigan Tech, a Illinois Tech, anybody Tech. I didn't have those kind of numbers on the basketball court or my ACT. Quality young men out there.
Mater Dei will keep possession of the ball, down 34-31. Knights 24-11 on the year. Rockridge 30-2. Right back in the hands of Gerling.
And Dave, that's what we talked about, hanging around the basket. You know, it looked like that shot was going to be scored. The basket was going to be scored, but instead Gerling stayed with it and cleaned it up.
Whiteman beyond his range. And we've got a one-point game, third place matchup. Mater Dei and Rockridge here in Peoria.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately, you'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle. But excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
Ron Shadegg, the head coach of Mater Dei, played in the 1984 Super Sectional game for Mater Dei, and undefeated season ended at the hands of McLeansboro and Brian Sloan. Since then, this is the road he's traveled to Breese, to SIU Edwardsville, Goodwill, Oklahoma, is where Panhandle State is located. Junction City, Kansas, Port St. Lucie, Orlando, Florida, almost back to Austin, Texas. We'll tell you about that in a second. Total miles in a coaching career, 3,661.
And to see her husband, wife Shelley, had to fly in from Austin, Texas to be here this weekend. They had not seen each other for 7 weeks. Road well traveled and well rewarded with a state trophy this weekend.
She has a job in Austin, Texas, and the dream was for Ron to come back and coach his alma mater. Second year there, and they're adjusting to it. So Mater Dei unable to jump on top here with the midway point of the third quarter coming up.
Luke Johnson going to get more active.
Yeah, a little miscommunication between Johnson and Frakes. Frakes saw Johnson with the cut, and all of a sudden Luke just kind of pulled up a little.
Well, we talked about a backdoor cut earlier. You always take the man further direction. You got to finish your cut. And there's a rule in basketball offense. You never make a negative cut. Johnson did just that. He made a positive cut, then he went backwards. And that really is a definite no in offensive basketball.
Lampy with the offensive foul.
See, watch the good job by Heath right there. Squaring up and taking the charge. Coaches love offensive fouls.
Heath on the kick out. Frakes. Once again, a chance to lead for the Knights. Hockey, not this time.
I'll tell you, another great job by Tanius, though, coming down the floor. Head up, head up, head up. All the time he is seeing the whole floor. Many coaches teach, keep your eyes up on the rim because you have more of an expanse part of your vision by trying to see the whole floor that way.
Johnson ends up with it. Heath the follow. 20-point game for Brian Heath.
I think there's going to be more to come. Incredibly active.
Lampy going right back at it.
Talk about free throws and rebounding being so imperative. See Heath on the inside, anticipating the miss, and he finds himself all by his lonesome. He draws a crowd once he gets the rebound, but you got to put a body. Rebounding rules, body, then ball. Make contact, then go for the basketball. Untouched that time, so he takes advantage of a breakdown.
Tunius the catch. Some big bodies battling in there. Biggest man on the floor is number 50, Nolan Gerling. But it's always the little guys that get in the mix.
Big players, post players are taught, keep the ball up and get the elbows out. That's your strongest point. If your elbows are extended, it can get knocked out. If the ball is brought down, it get knocked out. You want to be at your most powerful athletic position with the basketball at its highest point. Good ball movement side to side.
Hockey will pick up that foul, and he prevented an easy two right there.
And because of that ball movement, Johnson found that seam in the zone. It's all about splitting a gap. When you move the basketball, the defense does not move the way it should. That creates gap opportunities for the basketball to be driven into the defensive lane area like that.
Oh! Heath with the elevation.
The drive, the draw, the dish, and the dime all at once right there. Splitting the gap, a highlight film right there. Two great players helping each other. Heath, the beneficiary of an offensive great play by his teammate Johnson. There's the dish, the dime, the dunk. And there's no doubt about it, they are on a good offensive roll and tempo right now.
They have cranked that lead up to 5, 38-33.
See that Rockridge huddle. One of the men inside it, of course, is Toby Whiteman, but the other guy with the glasses and the gray shirt, his name is Andy Say. And a lot of times assistant coaches don't get much say-so, if you will, no pun intended, but Andy Say does a great deal of their game planning, their scouting reports, their preparation. So kudos to him for his work, and kudos for Coach Whiteman. And you see that Coach Say right there, Coach Whiteman allowing and trusting his staff, which is ever so important.
Well, and for Toby Whiteman, he's been battling a little bit of health issues as well. Just didn't feel right, and so he ended up having to miss the regional championship game because he had an angiogram. And who took over for him in that regional title game?
Coach Say, Andy Say. And got himself a 1-0 season, right?
Tough inside for Gerling. Ron Shadig voicing his disagreement with the lack of a whistle.
Interesting, Gentry Whiteman, only 4 field goal attempts. You got that offensive rebound? No? Good activity by Whiteman. At the same time, a little bit of a shoelace problem. Easily correctable.
Gentry Whiteman key last year because they needed somebody to get big 6'8" Heath and half up at University of Wisconsin right now, and the man best suited for it happened to be a 5'9" freshman in Gentry Whiteman.
Talk about the vision of both point guards, double team coming, but he has the presence of mind to get the ball back behind the defense to Carson Frakes.
Off the Johnson, miss of a 3. Here's Tunius. Lampy from the line.
Tell you what, Tunius knows his role, doesn't he?
Yep.
He had a wide open shot. He said, I'm getting to Lampy. He's the guy that scores. I see the open man. My eyes are up. I see my teammate that can score. I know what I'm supposed to do. And he dishes his teammate a nice assist. Just a superlative play by Tunius right there.
Final seconds, and Brian Heath. But an offensive foul. Oh, and Toby Whiteman not happy.
Look at the double team on the inside. So Lampy's wide open with a double team Gerling, and the recognition by his guard Tanya's outstanding right there. You take what the defense gives you. They try to double team the horse downstairs. They find the high post, and Lampy is the beneficiary of being wide open.
Longwood would tie it. Here's Hockey. So it will be a 3-point difference at the end of 3. It's been a tight one all night long. Third place trophy up for grabs.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage, and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
For your auto, home, life, business, and retirement needs, call the Country Financial representative near you at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit us at countryfinancial.com. Number 20, it's your 18th birthday. That is Luke Johnson. That's a pretty nice way to spend it. Let's go to Kelly Crow.
Well, the 10th-ranked Mater Dei Knights trailing by 3 here with fourth quarter underway now, and head coach went into this telling his guys, with 4 seniors on this team, they didn't want to go out the way they did against Uplift last night. He said they shot just 28% from the field, turned the ball over 15 times, and he said, I expected my guys to respond with pride, and they certainly have done that tonight. But he said, you want to go out on a high note, and if they can do this, guys, they haven't been here in nearly 2 decades if they place in third here tonight.
Oh, you're right, Kellen. You add 2. Rockridge, this is the first time they've ever been here. It's kind of been the story of this tournament. Either first-timers or long absences.
Both teams disappointing, as you mentioned, the Open last night with their performances. Did not play at the highest level, but this has been a very entertaining game, and for the most part, a very well-played game here this evening. Coach Shattuck with a concerned look on his face. How about those coaches? Always got the marker in their hand, huh? Always ready for that one extra X and O. But you know what? You only get 10 of them on your board. Sometimes you'd like that 11th man, wouldn't you? Or the 6th man.
2-point game, biggest lead each team has had tonight has been 6. Mater Dei, during a 4.5-minute stretch in the third quarter, went 0 for 5 from the field, enabling the Rockets to take the advantage.
Mater Dei went to a 2-2-1 trap.
And the Knights looking for the tie or maybe more on this trip.
Rockridge playing a pack line defense. You see 4 white shirts in the lane. A pack line defense is intended to keep 1 step inside the lane, so you're playing about 16 feet with 1 defender pressuring the basketball at all times.
Heath quickly the other way.
Watch that defense come into your screen now. Somebody will pressure the ball. There it is, and everybody else in the lane. Basically a Dick Bennett, Wisconsin defense refined by many, many coaches to protect the basket.
But Gerling gets it inside.
Good angle on the pass. Improve your passing angle. You never pass the ball to your teammate. You pass it away from the opponent. Good assist right there. Fundamentally sound pass for the finish.
And the Mater Dei fans have come to their feet. Tied at 38. Heath will break that tie with his 24th point of the night. Right at his scoring average on the season.
And boy, can he score the basketball. Again, that was one where he was in traffic and was able to go to his opposite, his left shoulder, and score the basketball, squaring up as he was elevating into his shot. Looks a little bit tired right now, standing straight up. That's a telltale sign when players start tugging their pants or stand up. You got to keep those knees bent defensively.
Lampy, nice catch on the pass. You could hear that ball smack the hands of Ben Lampy.
Offensive basketball from the postman's position. Watch the seal. He stepped into his man, sealed, and then he just finished on the inside. Now watch Heath. Now watch him square up. He actually took a bump, was able with his upper body strength to finish. There are some superlative plays by the big-time players here tonight.
In between those two free throws, Rockridge will take a timeout. 2-point lead for the Rockets.
I think that timeout, quite honestly, is something we just touched on. They're tired. They're tired. Now they have a 2-point lead, but just to give their players a little bit of rest and a little bit of leg.
Brian Heath, 6'4" senior, last game in his high school career. He is playing like the first-team All-Stater he is.
Well, he scores in a myriad of ways. He can beat you off the bounce, scoring up. He can beat you stepping in. He can flush it on you. He can do it in the open floor. What a nice pass that was. Look at that bounce in his step. When you're feeling it, you're feeling it. To the tune of 24 points here tonight. Great bounce back. And you mentioned it right at his average. Do you realize how difficult, I'm serious about this, it is to average 24 points a game? Yeah, you're reading the paper, so-and-so got 20, so-and-so hit 25. But to get 24 points, you know, and be in the 20s probably, what, 2/3 of the game easily of his ball games, just a great score. And I'm not so sure, we talked about his ability as an academician, I'm not so sure he could not play at a higher level. In full respect to Michigan Tech and the consummate student athlete, but he can play at any level, you know, with his scoring ability and his ability to, you know, his jumping and such.
High total for Heath this year, 36 points at the end of December against Macomb. There are his numbers tonight.
And that Macomb tournament was a special one for them because they were going through all the difficulties.
Won the title of that tournament, winning 2 games in the final day after one of their schoolmates' funeral had been held at the Rockridge High School. We have a 1-point game, 5:20 left. Nearly a steal by Hockey. And coaches have not been the happiest with some of the calls here tonight.
Hockey, no doubt about it, getting out of the passing lane at the midcourt stripe. Thought it was a deflection which would negate a backcourt violation. Officials did not see it the same way. Matter Day trying to take advantage of the turnover. Running flex offense right now, down screen, back screen inside the post.
And the lead.
That was a great set. That was an offensive set they call flex. There's a back screen on the baseline, then a down screen, and then a seal. But watch this play come right into your living room. There's the back screen, there's the down screen, there's the seal, there's the left shoulder, there's the finish, and there's the Mater Dei lead.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
Back at Carver Arena, this is a hard-fought and a very intense, emotional third-place game, and you see how tight it is with under 5 minutes to play.
Well, you know, we talked about the open, we talked about competition, we talked about the third quarter. I'm not being redundant, but you know what? No one would know this was a third-place game if there wasn't a title card on it. They're going after it, and the level of play, let's call it like it is, the level of play is much higher than many third-place games we've had an opportunity to call here in the state finals.
Well, we thought coming into this tournament this weekend, this would be a very balanced field. It's playing out here tonight again. Uplifting St. Teresa to follow for that 2A championship.
Oh, there's another game tonight?
Yeah.
How about that? I'm already geeked. 4 out, 1 in offense for Rockridge. A lot of screening. There's a ball screen. And ball reversal.
Johnson. About 40 seconds have left the clock here.
Ball screen. Look at the spacing, though. 15, 17 feet. And they're playing outside the arc right now. You will see some high-low or a dive to the basket at some point. There's a dive by McManus. Now he'll get back out of there. Taking the ball to the corner, that's no man's land. You don't go take the basketball to the corner offensively unless you have a shot. Now they're back on top where they can reset and create.
Heath gets it inside to McManus. Can't get around Gerling. And he's fouled and he'll go to the line.
You know, McManus isn't pretty, but he's pretty effective. Good ball movement. They were very, very patient. Look at the pump fake. Good job by Gerling staying down, but he got his hand just outstretched. Well coached defensively, but just able to draw the foul was McManus.
Now Dakota McManus needs this one for the lead.
45% shooter on the year.
We should say for the tie, he needed both for the lead. We're locked up at 41.
He got a nice, a better looking shot than his statistics would say from the free throw line. Gerling in unfamiliar territory, 20 feet away. He going to go back where he belongs right now.
Approaching 3-minute mark.
See, they're not even guarding Tanyas out there. They know he won't shoot the ball, but he'll do that.
Heath will get the rebound. That is Heath's 8th rebound of the night. And which way will this go? You saw Connor Frakes. We heard the officials say number 3. Frakes looked down at his jersey. Oh, yeah, that's my number.
Toby Whiteman can't really figure it out, but he's kept his composure and coached a very, very solid basketball game tonight.
Let's take a look back at that Lampy-Frakes contact.
There's the ball screen. And he got his elbows out a little bit. He got his arms extended. But you see how he tried to screen and re-screen? If you see that one more time, Frakes had the idea because he screened down. Then the basketball came below him, and he re-screened again, but he just couldn't keep his arms in with the angle.
They're really taking that away now on the feed there, right?
Kelly told us earlier that Ron Sheddick going to take over the softball team. I don't think he's thinking about it right here. He's working on that last 251. Nolan Gerling, 6'9", 37-pound senior. averaging 15.7 points per game, and he's having his way here tonight.
That was big last night. He's big tonight. He's big every night. He's 6'9", but he knows the big fella knows how to finish on the inside. I love that seal right there. He steps right to the pressure on Johnson, able to catch the ball. No worries, goes spinning to his left shoulder. Just a beast on the inside, asserting himself 7 different times this year. He's had double-digit rebounds. Last night, 14. I mean, a double-double. He has really established himself. He's a bona fide college player, no doubt about that. The level, the coaches will decide.
Pace of this game is certainly slowed from the first quarter. It was a 30-point first quarter combined with these two teams.
Look at the 4 white shirts in the lane.
I tell you, they find him, don't they?
Well, and you know, the thing is, he is just so wide. His backside, pretty hard to get around, no doubt about that. We're so well coached and schooled, the way, watch him know how to seal. He steps into the pressure. A lot of times, young post players will step out to get the basketball. What you teach is just a little bit, Dave, of cheating. And that's you make some contact in, step into the defense, and then spin and seal, get the hands up, become available, and somebody will feed the beast.
Couple of free throws and a 2-point lead for the Knights. Rockridge on a stretch of 5 minutes and 21 seconds since they've made their last field goal. Let's swing it over to Kelly Crow.
Last time coming out of the timeout there for Mater Dei, that was exactly what Coach Ron Shattuck wanted in Girling. They said, don't force a shot. You saw him the past couple times down the floor. It wasn't a good shot. They were forcing it. He said, I want to work around. Their flex offense basically is what they're running, and they want a good shot. He goes, this is exactly what we were asking for. Just give us a chance. Game was tied. This is what your opportunity is to go out and win this ball game.
And I think they'll continue to run that flex, even though there's only 2 minutes left now, because what it does is allows Girling to down screen and then seal his man off. And I don't think there'll be another shot by Mater Dei without Girling touching the ball on the inside unless it's a run out.
Whiteman had an early 3, and he gets one there.
Boy, Whiteman's been quiet. He's been a little bit cold, but he was cold as ice on that shot.
McManus the foul.
Nice pass on time, on target. Get a little rim rattle and roll downstairs.
Once again, Girling to the line to shoot 2. 5 of 10 from the line tonight. McManus following out on that last play.
Mater Dei 24-11, trying to tie it here. We talked about the competition they play in the South. They play a lot of 3 and 4A schools.
2 misses from Girling, though. Heath with numbers.
And discretion.
Again.
Oh! Wow. Light him up right there. Oh, my. That was a no, yes, nice shot. Because he did not need to push in the open force. Oh, my goodness. What a great step. Splitting the defense. There's the All-Stater. Explosion to the 10. He shows the ball, eliminates the charge call, and is able, watch it sidestep the big fella Girling and able to finish. Euro step right there.
Oh, I guess that's what an All-Stater looks like, right?
My goodness. The star is shining, 26 big ones.
You know, speaking of All-Staters, we'll see Christian Williams from Decatur St. Teresa, fellow first-team selection. His St. Teresa Bulldogs taking on the Titans from Uplift in our 2A championship game. They'll be coming up following this one.
Can Roscoe and Foley, the dynamic duo of Uplift, can they outscore basically Christian Williams, who's going to, you know what's Christian Williams? He averages like a 19 and 8 as well. It's the first team consensus All-Stater. We got some players that are going to be on the floor in Game 2 tonight.
Number 24, Brian Heath, our Country Financial Player of the Game. 26 points to go along with 9 rebounds.
And you got to have a long reel for his highlight film tonight because he's scored in a myriad of ways.
His team's protecting a 3-point lead.
You don't need a 3 here. You can take a quick 2. You have to have some urgency.
Gurley, nice shot on the baseline.
Good patience. They got the ball to the guy they needed the ball to. Now it's one stop. It's a stop score for Mater Dei to win a game.
Playing keep away, and Mater Dei has a foul to give. They use it right there.
Good patience by Mater Dei there. He steps the pressure. They're playing behind. It's no contest. When they play behind, if they don't get a double down, Gurley's going to score from over you.
Mater Dei has 1 timeout remaining. The next foul they commit will send Rockridge to the line. And the lob to Luke Johnson.
What a great set play. Sideline out of bounds play has been practiced dozens and dozens of times. They got the backdoor lob on a set play.
Lampy will go to the line with 32.8 left.
What a great execution that was to get the ball to Johnson. You're going to see the lob. There is a back screen right there. A great screen by Frakes, who allowed Johnson to be free. Defensive rules never follow a back screen, but sometimes defensive breakdowns occur. Right there, it was Johnson who was right there to make a play at the right time, a critical time of this game.
Ben Lampy at the line. He has 20 points. And his team is cut it to a 1-point game. And deflected off of Johnson. Mater Dei ball with 32 seconds left.
Hockey with some good pressure. Now here's a baseline out of bounds play that they're going to make an adjustment to for the scout reports. Good timeout by Ron Shattuck right there to take away any of the scouting that has taken place. Toby Whiteman breaking down film. They'll make an adjustment on a play that they've run all year.
Glancing to the board, they see the 1-point deficit. We look back to that lob from Heath. Or check the last one here that was deflected by Hocking off of Johnson.
Yeah, and you know, you never want to throw the ball to the baseline or the sideline. The proverbial extra defender, you want to create space away from the boundary lines, whether it be sideline or baseline. So they kind of played in to the hands of Mater Dei's pressure right now. Now what Coach Shattuck is drawing up, a lot of people think there's magic in coaches' pens. There is not. What he's doing is taking a play they've run dozens and dozens of times all year long and saying, if they take away this, here is option B, here is option C, and they don't have to score on the blob, the baseline out of bounds. They're going to their first option to score off the set play here, and then the second thing he talked about, if we don't have it, get it back on top, and I'll bet you'll see the flex offense again, which is continuity, but it'd be a down screen, and they feed Gurley.
Mater Dei is out of timeouts. And we'll go to the line.
And there's the set play out of the baseline out of bounds, and it was what he did, Gurley, was screen the weak side and then again seal, and it was designed to go to him. So good execution as he caught the ball deep into the defense, but he was the screener, and the screener was the man that was open rather than the cutter.
Gurley missed his last 2 free throws, and on the night, he's only 5 of 12. He'll get 2 right here. His team down by 1.
You know, he's right there. I mean, he really is. His release looks good. He's getting the ball to the goal. Usually you tell a shooter, shoot the ball 6 inches over the front of the rim. Now, he hit front rim there. Can he make an adjustment? 6 inches over the front.
Nope. So 4 misses from Gerling. And we will walk to the other end. At the free throw line will be Brian Heath.
You know, way back when I was at a coaching clinic, I asked Doug Collins about shooting. I said, you teach front of the rim or back of the rim? And he said, I'm not trying to be smart about it, but I just shoot it right down the middle. so I learned a little bit something right then.
Heath at the back of the rim with a 2-point lead. Again, Mater Dei cannot stop the clock by way of timeout. Double-double for Heath.
Rockridge 6 out of 9 from the line, 7 out of 10, and 16 out of 30 for Mater Dei.
3-point game. They want to go 3. Dieters. Johnson gets it to Heath, and they have to grab his jersey. Oh, that's a lucky break right there for Mater Dei. Dieters was just reaching, was able to grab the jersey. Otherwise Heath goes the distance.
They got a decent look. Dieters had to step in after the shot fake. It would have only been a 2. Good fundamental closeout defensively. Closeouts by the Rockets as a team, protecting the arc right there.
1-1 for Heath. 29 points tonight.
I saw him put on a show in the Super Sectional. I saw his disappointment last night. But he ends with a big-time game tonight.
Lampy has to fire it up. And this clock will wind down, and Rockridge will claim 3rd place. Toby Whiteman has that ball cradled under his arm.
And where's that ball going? Quite honestly, is it going on his mantle? Is it going to one of his players? Is it going to, you know, would you go to Jake Foy for the team signature? There's an awful lot of emotion with the Rockridge team.
Their first appearance ever in the state basketball finals. And the Rockets will claim 3rd place. Mater Dei, the first time they have been to the finals since 1996. Be their 2nd 4th place trophy to go along with a 2nd place finish.
What a fun 3rd place game.
Let's go to Kelly.
Brian Heath, a big reason the Rockets are taking home 3rd place in the state championship. 30 points from you today. Explain after last night why it was so important for you to come out and finish your entire high school career like this.
I mean, it's extremely important. This is my last game of the year. I mean, I came up and left everything on the floor, and that's what all seniors should do. Is when it comes to postseason, they got to leave everything on the floor.
How special is this to do it with the group of seniors that you have on this team?
Oh, it's amazing. We've been together since probably kindergarten and playing basketball together since then. I love these guys to death.
Jake Foy, Nolan Stevens at the beginning of the game when they got to be on this floor. What was that moment like as a teammate of theirs?
That was really emotional. I thank the Mater Dei coach for allowing us to do that. He was very nice in allowing us to do that, and it was very emotional.
What's it going to be like to take this trophy back to your student section and everybody at your high school?
Oh, it's going to be great. I mean, first time down here at state and bring back 3rd. I mean, I'm proud of how we played tonight.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy this one.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to bring in now Coach Toby Whiteman. Coach, we talked before the game. I know this is your first ever appearance in the state finals. How enjoyable has this run been for you?
It's been great. It's been great, and it's so much more special with these kids. I mean, I can't, like I told you before, I can't put it into words. I mean, it's phenomenal.
We were just talking to Brian Heath, 30 points to go out in his high school career. Did you expect that from him this evening?
When Brian like he does the game before. When he comes back out, I wasn't expecting it because it'd be on such a big stage, but it doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, Coach, enjoy this one with your team.
Thank you very much.
Dave, over to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Kelly. A good one here in your third place game. We're just getting warmed up tonight. 52-47 win tonight for the Rockets from Rockridge. A 30-point, 11-rebound night from All-Stater Brian Heath. But coming up, it's your two-way state championship game. St. Teresa and Uplift coming up next.